Hello, this is Ben Creates ABD, and I am here to present Chord Cube. Chord Cube is a learning tool for guitarists, whether they are beginner, intermediate, or advanced. The purpose of this app is to help build chord recognition, familiarity, speed, hand-eye coordination, and finger dexterity. In this video, I will navigate through this app, showing its key features and capabilities. This is Chord Cube. This is what the user will first see when they first click onto the app. On it, they will see the name of the chord, a cube which displays the chord itself, a timer, a slide bar for that time, along with 4 buttons: start, rotate, lock, and reset. Starting with the slide bar, the user will be able to control from 1 second to 60 minutes to 60 seconds on how long they want each face to show. Once the user clicks start, the timer will begin to go down from the timer that they selected. And once the timer hits 0, the cube will rotate. You can press stop if you want the cycle to stop. Rotate will allow the user to be in control of the rotation of the cube. And each time the cube rotates, a new face will be displayed. And at the top, it will display the new name of that chord. The lock button will stop the cube in its current place, disabling the start and rotate button. In order to reverse it, just simply press unlock. And for reset, this will reset the time back to the start position which the user has set it to. So if I press start and click reset, the timer will go back to 7, and the user will have to press start again if they want the time to continue. On the top right, you can see is our navigation bar, which I will introduce the other pages for this app. Here is our settings. In the settings, you are able to control the speed, ranging from 10 to 100. If the speed is set to 10, the cube will rotate very slowly. This is the speed of 10. And then you set the speed to 100. This would be the speed that the user will receive. The default speed is 30. Next is we have the audio. We can either turn it on or off. This is when the time hits 0, it will not make any sounds when it's turned off. That could be a problem for sensitive users. So if they don't want that, you can easily turn it off. And right here at the bottom, we can control the color of the dots. This will be demonstrated later during this presentation. Here is our select chords. This is where the user will be able to select which chords they want the cube to display. Right now, I have the AM, C, D, E, and F chord. If I simply want to display an A7, an AM7, and go back to the cube, the A7 and the AM7 will be displayed. If the user selects no chords, the AM chord will be selected on default. Note that when the user first opens the app, no other chords will be selected, so the AM chord will be displayed on default. If the user wants other chords to show up, they will have to click them right here and they will display on the cube. At the top is the default chords. These are the built-in chords that I hard-coded into the program. And at the bottom will be your custom chords, which will be displayed later on during this presentation. Here is our create chord page. This page will allow us to name the chord, create a chord, and display the chord onto the cube. Right here at the top is the name. This will allow us to name the chord however you want. If we don't give it a name, it will just be displayed as chord. When the user scrolls down, they'll be introduced to a fretboard. The fret only shows the first 4 frets on a guitar. And at the top displays 6 open circles. Each circle represents open or closed. If you press on the circle, it will turn to an X, which would mean mute. If you click on that same X again, it will turn back to a circle, which means open. Once the user clicks on the fretboard, a 1 will be displayed, then a 2, a 3, a 4, and after a 4, each one will be just a regular circle. 1, 2, 3, 4 represents a finger, and after the 4th finger, each circle will just be blank. And this is to allow more creativity in chords. And if you scroll down, We have a clear and we have a download. If we press clear, it would delete everything onto the fretboard. And if we press download, it will save it and it will display it in our select chords. So yes, create a chord. Once we click download, and will tell us to go to select chords to view it. Chords are not automatically selected. The user will have to go into select chords to select it. So let's go to select chords. I'm going to turn off all these other chords. And on the bottom, you can see our custom chords. Our chord is right here. Just select it. And right here is our custom chord. The name that we gave is at the top, AM. This is how our chord will look onto the cube. If we no longer want this cube, simply press delete and the cube and the custom chord will be removed. Please note that once you remove a chord, you cannot get it back. So please be cautious when deleting. And as I mentioned before, in settings, this allows us to control the colors of what would be displayed onto the cube, onto the custom chord page. So for example, if you press yellow, this yellow dot, the center dot will be yellow and the out dot will be, just say, red violet. If you go to create chords, it will be displayed as such onto the screen, giving the user a more variety of colors. And just call this custom chord. Go to select, and right here, our chord is selected, displayed as such. And if the user wants to not use the first four, but rather instead move the tempo down, the capo down, so just say the 9th fret, they will have to include it into the title. So just say chord, capo 9. And this will allow more finger placement onto the guitar, which will be more flexible for a lot of advanced and intermediate users. Press download, select. Here's our chord. Now when the chord shows up, the user will see capo and they will move their fingers to the designated spot. If you need more examples, I have done it right here with the B chord, along with BM7 and B major 7. And that concludes the create chord page. The last page that I will review is the about page. The about page will give you a little bit of background on my creation of this app. This was a final semester project at Kennesaw State University that I did along with my professor. This is the first app that I ever created. So if there's any questions, concerns, problems, I made sure to include a troubleshooting and a frequently asked questions page. If any of your questions or concerns are not able to be met, I added my email below, and I will get to your questions, concerns, and comments as soon as possible, or you can leave them down in the description below. Please be patient and mindful as I'm still navigating through this journey. That will conclude Chord Cube. The app will be released next week. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Goodbye.